Hello and welcome. So today I've decided to do a little walking tour of Dublin. Now this will be pretty unedited, so if I make some mistakes, apologies for that. So I'm just going to walk around, see some historical spots that I know of, and give you the history of that, and then just see what's happening in Dublin City. So I'm just here at Parnell Square get this camera right, at Parnell Square. It's the Garden of Remembrance. So you have the statue of King Lear. This this park was dedicated to or was opened on the 50th anniversary of the 1916 Easter Rising. So it's open most of the day and it's closed at night. But it's a nice little place to chill out if you're in the city centre and you're looking for something a little quiet. So it's quite big. There's a little bit of poetry there. But just have a look at the park. It's just outside the Rotunda Hospital, which is there, so we'll walk around that way. And then the tricolour up behind me. So yeah, it was opened on the 50th anniversary of the 1916 Easter Rising, and it's dedicated to those who fought for Irish freedom. There's no specific inscriptions of particular events or individuals that I know of anyway. The proclamation might be there, but yeah, just in Parnell Square, so just up the road from O'Connell Street and next to the Rotunda Hospital. So we'll go around now. So this will be just a bit of a walking tour today, see what I come across and see what's happening in the city. So since it was a sunny day, I thought it'd be a good idea to take a walk around. The Dublin Writers Museum just there, which I've never been into, but if you are into that. So the mic should be connected properly, I hope so. This is my first time walking around the city, so if I happen to turn it off really quickly, it's probably because I saw someone I know. But yeah, this is the entrance to the Garden of Remembrance. I don't know where the time, I know it is closed at night, but I don't know the exact time. And then just here, and I believe this is obviously why one of the reasons this was chosen as the spot to build the Garden of Remembrance is in 1913, this was where the Irish Volunteers was formed. So you have these little plaques as well. So these will show you where you are in Dublin and what's close by. So you have these. That's all in Irish. And then on this side in English. So Parnell Square, Abbey Presbyterian Church and Hugh Lane are close by. And then this plaque here, this commemorates where the Irish Volunteers were formed in 1913. So there's actually someone on TikTok told me about that. I didn't know. I always wondered what that plaque was, but that turns out that's what it is. And then we're making our way down towards Parnell Square. So that's Parnell Square, dedicated, obviously, Charles Stewart Parnell, who was an advocate for home rule and at least semi-Irish independence until he was caught in an affair which brought down his political career and aspirations for Irish independence, or not Irish independence, but at least home rule. My history of Parnell is not great, but square is dedicated to him, so it's just here. And then that's the Gaiety Theatre. I think it's the Gaiety Theatre. The Gay Theatre. So this is Parnell Square. An old drinking fountains. Probably for horses, maybe for people as well. Now, there's just one small little building I want to show you. So that's the front of the Ambassador Theatre. Now, I think kilt swimming across. So this is the Parnell Monument, and you see at the bottom it has the names of all the Irish counties. So I don't know when this was built. I'm not sure of the history of the Parnell Square Monument, but it's been here for a very long time. But just here at the Londis, I think it's number 1 Parnell Street. This was the shop once owned. It was a tobacco shop once owned by Thomas J. Clarke. So the first signatory of the Irish Proclamation. There's a little plaque that highlights that a little high. It's hard to see. Just there, that little plaque. I'm tall and I can't even read that. But here was the shop of Thomas J. Clarke, first signatory of the Proclamation. I'm going to assume that word's Ireland, but so this shop, the Circle K, sorry, I thought was Londis. Oh, there's a better one. This building was the former tobacco shop of Thomas J. Clarke, Fenian, first signatory of the 1916 Proclamation, executed 3rd of May 1916. I actually never saw that plaque. I knew that one was there. Yeah, number 1 Parnell Street. So those plaques are on lots of buildings around the city. Some, I don't know how you're supposed to actually see them. Some of them are very high. I just know the addresses of some places. Now, he did have another tobacco shop on Ames Street, but that was before he moved here. So in that building would have been a lot of the planning for the 1916 Easter Rising, and it was a meeting spot for a lot of the IRB and the Fenians planning the 1916 Easter Rising. So we're just making our way, I'm hoping the mics work, we're making our way along O'Connell Street, Dublin's main thoroughfare, as someone say, or Dublin's main street. And the most prominent buildings on this street are obviously the GPO. There would also be, try not to get run over now when I'm crossing. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, it's the GPO and the Gresham Hotel. The spire, it's a big spike. No one knows why it was built. Ugly thing to put in the middle of the city. And then they have the Gresham Hotel. So it's one of Dublin's more fancier hotels. The only thing I know about that is 2 spies were killed in there on Bloody Sunday in 1920. But I think there's a plaque in there dedicated to it, but I'm not 100% sure. So we'll make our way along. It's actually quite nice today. It's nice and sunny. Sorry if I pick up all the hums and haws. It's the first time doing a little walking tour, and I'm trying not to walk into people. I try and then recall whatever I know of the buildings or the places. So I'll have a look at O'Connell Street. So if you're ever getting your hop on, hop off buses, this is probably the easiest place to get on, do the circle of the city and come back. And you have the Irish Tourist Office there, and then the Garda Tourist Assistance Office, which hopefully you don't have to go into, but if you do, on Garda Síochána, they are the Irish, it's the name of the Irish police force. You have your Burger Kings, your McDonald's, Carl's gift shops. It's busy enough today because it's nice and sunny. But here, we're good. Get out of the way of this tree and have a good view of the spire. So this, I think, was built in the I can't remember exactly, but I do remember it opening. It was built in the early 2000s. Maybe, probably, definitely around the Celtic Tiger period. I'm sure there was a reason what it was supposed to actually mean, but no one knows. And it's like more of an eyesore because it's not dedicated to anything in particular in Irish history. But I do remember that it was. I do remember that it was supposed to have some self-cleaning thing. I would like allow it to clean itself, and like within the first couple of months, it broke, and I'm not sure if it was ever fixed. So that's Henry Street. That's the main shopping street in Dublin. But here you have the GPO, so probably Ireland's most important building of the modern period. Newgrange would be the other one. So this is where the 1916 Easter Rising was headquartered. And you can still see the pockmarks from the cannons and the bullets. They're all a little closer and you can see them. So the building was completely destroyed and during the 1916 Easter Rising, and then rebuilt in the 1920s. And I think it opened in 1924, maybe 1929 it was reopened. And still operates as the post office, but because of obviously the reduction in people using the post, it's going to be closed at some stage. It's at a big hold. It's going to be closed at some stage. And they're trying to attempts to rebrand it. I'll turn this around. There's attempts to rebrand it as a shopping centre, but there's huge, there's big. If they try to do that, there'll be huge protests. Like that won't go ahead because the city is full of shops, and especially this area, it needs something else to draw people in. They say they need to rejuvenate the north side because of the state of some of the places. But turn into another shop is not really great. But we'll have a look, just a quick look inside and knock people over. This is what it looks like inside now. It's still very nice. So there's dedication there to the 1916 Easter Rising. And a bit of the history. So it was built between 1814 and 1818, destroyed in 1916, and it was reopened in 1929. And now we're coming here. Now it's just a post office, so people are just doing their. And there's a couple of just these plaques about what happened. Statue of Cú Chulainn, dedicated to those who fought in 1916 Easter Rising. I have another video on my channel where I walk through what happened here and then up to Moore Lane. So I'm not going to go that way, but I will go close to Talbot Street. So Talbot Street is, let me get this video so it's not just my forehead. Talbot Street is notorious in Dublin as being one of the roughest and I'll say just describe it as roughest streets in Dublin. Antisocial behaviour, just not really much of that to entice people down that street, except a couple of good pubs, which I'll try and show you. But there's a bit of history on the street. Now it's right off the main street. It could be, I'll find this up. It could be really good if the place gets rejuvenated a little bit. But I don't know what what you could do, bigger guard of presence, and then getting rid of the people that be causing antisocial behaviour. But we'll have a look. So the first thing that's a lot of people see is the portal tunnel, and this connects Dublin with New York, Vilnius in, I'm going to say Latvia, and I can't remember the other city. Well, it used to be just New York, but they changed it to the other cities that have the portal tunnel. So it's just a live stream between the places. So that's live. And then you have James Joyce chilling over there at the top of Talbot Street. And then behind Talbot Street is where the city gets, or where it supposedly gets much rougher. Now, during the daytime, it's busy shopping street. Night, I've only been down here for the Celt Bar, which is one of my favourite pubs in Dublin. Like, definitely for like an Irish style pub. Rather than going to Temple Bar with some friends, I would bring them here. Because the front bar usually has really good trad music, like proper trad session. And the back is more like the cover band style that is the same in Temple Bar. Well, I'll have a walk along now and see what's here. So one thing that's famous that happened on this street is the Dublin and Monaghan bombings occurred in 1974. Just the main bomb that killed the most people occurred outside Guineas. So Guineas is famous shop just for knickknacks, bits, clothes, workwear, lots of different stuff. But the first bomb exploded there, another bomb exploded on Parnell Square, and then another bomb in Monaghan. So that actually turned out to be the bloodiest day of the Troubles in Ireland. Of the 30 Years' Troubles actually occurred outside of most of the Northern Irish counties. That happened in Dublin, and that was carried out by a British, well, it was terrorists, but with British collusion, because it was such a sophisticated attack. But the main bomb exploded inside Guineas. But now I'm not sure if the shop moved or the memorial, but there's a memorial to it, but at the very bottom of Talbot Street. So now, and also